New information coming out about the car accident and gruesome injuries that have forced 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan to miss the start of training camp.
Ground 4 sports reporter Erin Wilson joins us live in the studio with more on what she is learning and what Coach Shanahan is saying. Erin?
Yeah, guys, today we learned much more detail into what actually happened on July 14th in Palo Alto. So the 49ers head coach, Kyle Shanahan, he revealed today to a few reporters that he was at fault after a clerical error made by the state named the victim as the cause for the crash. So he wanted to clear that up. This is all according to David Lombardi of the San Francisco Standard, who was present for the meeting with Shanahan today, which was Tuesday morning. Now, in this meeting, Shanahan made it clear that he wanted to set the record straight, that he was at fault after the official report stated that he was not on Monday. Shanahan explained that his phone fell as he was going 20 miles per hour on Alma Street. Then, once he was reaching to pick his phone up, he swerved into oncoming traffic, causing the crash. He did clarify that he was not using his phone. Shanahan holding the meeting because he said that he felt terrible once the clerical error placed blame on the other person involved in the crash. Now, that error, I'm told, was made, or not made actually, by the Palo Alto Police Department, but happened when the accident record actually was being transferred to the state database. Now, as sources close to Shanahan have publicly stated, Shanahan had severe injuries following the accident, nearly losing one of his eyes in the crash, and that happened due to a visor which was down at the time of the crash. So take a listen to the description of the severity of Shanahan's injuries following this accident. Was there still bruising? How was he?
He showed us a photo of what he looked like in the hospital shortly after the accident, and it quite frankly was horrific. He had a massive gash that just narrowly missed his eye. The concussion is the biggest residual issue. Music blaring at practice or multiple people talking to him at once, that really gets him. He also says it's tough to make big decisions right now. So when his wife asks him, what do you want for lunch? It seems like a heavy decision, but he did emphasize that things have already gotten a lot better.
Did he mention that there's any concern given those symptoms with being able to ease back into coaching?
There's always concern when there's a concussion. He is confident though that he could fully get over the concussion. I think it would be the same for any line of work, right? Your brain controls your body. He's going to take a very, very disciplined and gradual approach, listening to the doctors. And obviously, since he is in the football sphere, car accident concussions are inherently different than football concussions, because I think you're less braced. But since he is in the football sphere, he is surrounded by medical personnel, professionals who are experts in concussions, and hopefully that can help him manage this recovery as best as possible.
Now, while he is recovering, I also asked if he weighed in on the offensive lineman coach, Chris Forster, who is stepping in his place. Given the nature of those injuries and the sensitivity of the symptoms with the noise and everything else, of course, with all that comes with football, Lombardi did say that Shanahan didn't talk much about football. He said that the Niners organization, they have built a machine, implying that there is confidence that the team will run as well as it will when he's there and when he's away. So obviously just happy to know that he's okay, but those were the details given today.